What's up? Let's cut the music. You can see we're wobbly. The camera is wobbly. How's it going, everyone? What's up, Blue Wolf? We're going to be making some comics today. All right. Sup, DJ? How you doing? I'm doing a podcast after this that you've been on as well. What's up, Hulk Hoquin? Good to see you again. Yeah, so we're going to be working for like an hour-ish, because at 9 p.m. Eastern, hey, Josh Storm, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be doing a podcast with the Draw Drinkin', no I, though, Draw Drinkin'. Yeah, we're going to be talking process on that, and I'm going to kind of explode the idea of process. I don't know. It's all their podcasts are like talking about process all the time, and I'm like, what if we talk about how process will hold you back? So that's what we're going to talk about on there. But until then, I don't know if you guys can see what we got going on over here. Oh, all right, let's real quick. The camera's wobbly. See that? Wobble. The reason for that is that I am in a new apartment. The entire background has changed from the last time you saw me. I'm in a new apartment in North Carolina. I am out of Florida, so things are a little different. Because of that, the wobble of the desk made me realize that, hey, I should get a new desk. So I ordered a very nice desk, and it has not arrived yet. So like my whole streaming setup is kind of half still packed. So we're in a low light situation. We're in a chill zone, and we're low tech. So that's what's happening right now. I don't know if you guys remember this. This is from forever ago. We were working on some comics, some like stuff that I was going to do like nights and weekends, just like chip away at. And then I started working on Power's best book ever 20th anniversary. Yeah, the lo-fi hip hop really solidified the chill. Yeah, of course. And Powers came out. It came out, and it was well received. It actually just came out like a week or two ago. There were some very kind reviews for it. You should check it out. I gotta move the chat so I could see who followed. PokerStars PA, thank you for the follow. So that kind of took up a lot of my life. It got a little crazy, in a good way. But it was a lot. It was like 200 and something pages for me to do like all at once, and it just became between that and all the other projects, low-key hush, yeah, between that and all the other projects, basically everything that I was doing that was extra, including the stream, like I wasn't streaming, like I barely streamed in the last like year. Has anything happened in the last year? There's been a few things going on. Anyway, the point is that I didn't get to do a lot of this stuff. I didn't get to work on the stream. I didn't get to work on this. So now that everything is calmed down and we're all chill and it's chill vibes, I figure, we could start working on this stuff again. We're going to be doing some comic coloring in the future, but since today was going to be kind of a shorter stream because I have a podcast to do at 9, Nick not streaming, Curse 2020 confirmed. Yeah. Because I have a podcast to do at 9, we're going to work on this a little bit. So this is the raw scan. This was a panel that I did not like. We're just going to do that. And then this is the rest of the shot. This is the first page of a thing that we wrote on stream. This was supposed to be a Twitter 4-pager. And the reason that we did 4 pages was because Twitter lets you show 4 images. So it's a quick and easy way to just put out a comic. Like, put it up on Twitter, done deal. just chuck it into the void of Twitter. So this piece right here, I did this in the breakdowns, and I started like sketching it, trying to like make it look better. And just everything I did, I was like, there's just something wrong. Like he's too tall in the back, and the doors, it's just like, it looks weird. Nothing I did really looked right. So I went back and did a patch panel. This is the patch panel that we're going to be using. So I also did between this page and this page. So you can see there's like a little bit of blue in here. There's a little bit of blue. But it's much more faint. It's a lot more faint than this blue here. This blue is like, you can tell this blue is yelling at you. This blue is, I think, 20%, and this one is 8%. So I'm trying to figure out, like, part of us doing this 4-pager too is just me trying to figure out process. So this is me being like, hey, maybe we can just scale the blue back a little bit. So let's drop this bad boy in here. Maybe we should drop that bad boy out of there. Try to get like a better piece of this without as much white around it. Yeah, this will work. Literally cut and paste this thing in. It's a little big. Still kind of a little big. That looks fine. All right. So this is our finished completed page. Completed, quote unquote. Here's the thing. Penciler Nick Filardi, that dude's still getting his legs. But colorist Nick Filardi, we're going to get in here. We're going to be working in black and white, though. But we're gonna make this look better than it does. We're gonna play to our strengths. Before we get started, let's flatten this. Let's kick it over to CMYK. So I haven't done this before. So I'm saying these things like they're things that people do, but we're trying it for the first time. Let's cut. So my idea with this was that like we would do, 20% cyan or whatever, and we'd have these marks, and then we'd just select the cyan channel and be like, boom, done. And then the cyan would just disappear. But we also pulled the cyan out of everything else. So we're going to kick it back into grayscale. Then we're going to go back into CMYK. And I think we've gotten like kind of most of it out of there. I think that one of the takeaways, we're messing with the levels now, trying to make the thing look right. Teen Wolf comic looking great. Don't you put that on me, boys. We're gonna mess with the levels, try to get things looking a little crispy. But you know what? So like there's a little tooth in here, a little texture that I actually kind of like. I don't want to kill all that. So maybe we're just going to do like a little bit, and we're going to have to like paint in some blacks in places. For anyone who doesn't know, Boix does a podcast called Rough Cuts. And during the break of this stream of a year, I was on Rough Cuts twice, in fact. And we did Teen Wolf most recently. You guys should check it out if you want to hear me talk about Teen Wolf. Oh man, I just realized I gotta update all those graphics. Umbrella Academy Volume 3 is out, but all that stuff needs to be updated. It's pushing a lot of old comics. I'm not sure what platforms it's going to be on. I know it's going to be on YouTube. So if you look for Draw Drinking on YouTube, Drinking without an I, you can find it. In fact, you know what? Let's low key do that. Do I have this? Yes. Let me find the link. There's Google. Let me find the link. Let me be a diligent person. You believe only on YouTube? There's the link. That should be the link. Somebody click that and tell me if that is the Draw Drinking podcast. Oh, you tried to put the link in, but you couldn't because you're blocked, DJ. You're blocked. All right. So it worked. Good. Okay. I'm not totally in love with a lot of these drawings, but like, here's the thing, guys. You got to start somewhere. I haven't drawn in a long time, and this drawing was done a year after the rest of these drawings, and I'm a little bit rustier than I normally am. So we are going to, like I said, play to our strengths. We're going to take this whole page, we're going to duplicate it. We're going to do what we do normally with CMYK stuff. I suppose, I put this in CMYK, but I suppose we could just drop this into grayscale. Don't flatten, keep it in grayscale. The reason I wanted to do grayscale rather than color is because like I didn't want to lose my mind, basically. I didn't want to make a ton of work for myself. Just a little bit of work, just writing, drawing, lettering, not coloring, comic. We're gonna select every panel, and we're just gonna add like a 20% gray, just so that we can kind of figure out what the middle is of what we're like working with. The goal of this was to kind of do a like grungy, textury kind of thing. So like, if these edges aren't perfect, if the blacks aren't like true black, like I kind of don't care. The thing about this, what is that? 30%? 30% is fine. The thing about this is that we can kind of, because we're not like beholden to anyone, like we're not making Nightwing, I gotta reach around this microphone to get this thing in my lap. These are the growing pains of setting up this whole desk again. Is this all right? Is this all right? This seems all right. Hold on. This seems all right. Yes. Yes. This seems all right. Where's my glove? There it is. We're making art, so we're going to need the art glove. Yeah. We're not really beheld to anyone to like make this look a certain way. So we're just going to do whatever the hell we want with it. And if we're showing off some pencils, we're showing off some pencil. Like if there's pencil marks, that's fine. I kind of just want to like block in some light. We're gonna kind of treat it like a painting. We're just gonna get in there, add some texture, add some light. We're not gonna really worry about making it perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good. Perfect is the enemy of never getting it done. Art glove, yeah. So we want to think about light source, and because we've already worked on this page, which is something that does not happen a lot in my line of work, we already know where the light source is for everything. We're gonna go like that. We're gonna go like that. We're just kind of shucking and jiving right now. And we're going to dress this up a little more than I'm already doing. I'm just kind of like blocking in what I'm thinking about as far as like the big spaces of light. So I got to kind of like mess around with some ideas that I don't really have a lot of control over normally when I'm doing a page. So obviously I'm playing into light sources a lot. Like I think about light a lot as a colorist. And sometimes I get a little irked when pencilers, if you're a penciler, listen, if you want to be do right by your colorist, um, put that torch on the wall. Put that like Scott like this thing. Like you don't need a light there. This doesn't do anything, but it creates like, you know, a little bit of like interesting stuff for us to bounce around with. Hey graffiti, what's up? Uh yeah, so like this is like an interesting thing for us to like work with kind of. We can make the scene a lot more dramatic with a light like that. Uh which is what we want. Drama is what we want. I don't know if we're going to do these like pings in this scene, but we'll mess with it for now. All right. Let's put the moon in here. I think that's what was going on. Oh yeah, and then we got the lantern. You also got to keep in mind that I drew this like a year ago. Hey Gab. What's up? Yeah, so we're getting things done. I'm gonna silhouette this guy a little bit. I don't even know if I named these guys. It's been so long since I worked on something like this. And we're gonna add texture over this whole thing too. We're gonna silhouette him here like we did before. Just kind of messing around. I don't know if can you guys hear that? I don't think it's showing up on mic. There's a train that goes by every once in a while in the evenings, and I started tracking started keeping track of like when the train was rolling by on my phone, and it's about that time. Yeah, 7:41. Usually it rolls by at 7:30. It's a little late today. Yeah, you heard it. Yeah. The train is not in your apartment right now. Scott and Styles. I don't know what that is. All right. So we are going to. You grew up near railroad. It's pretty neat, actually. I kind of like it. I know some people would probably find it annoying, but I kind of enjoy it. So, okay, let's think about the light here. Am I like in a weird mode? Am I not able to? There we go. Kind of like light up the hand, light up the bottle. We're going to make the office a little darker. And try the office behind him a little darker, because we're trying to frame him correctly. And we may have to like start to mess with some Scott and Styles. Yeah, you sure you talked about look, the Teen Wolf was a long time ago. Styles, by the way, in Teen Wolf is the fucking man. The reason to watch that movie is not actually Teen Wolf, it's Styles all day, and whatever t-shirt Styles is wearing at the time. So yes, I did watch Teen Wolf. It's just my I was thinking about the page and not thinking about Teen Wolf. That was my mistake. I should have been thinking about Teen Wolf. So okay, we this is a pretty dark room here. Like I don't know what percent we are right now. You will second that, yeah. I don't know. This means nothing. What is this? Just black 44%. Like we could go darker. Not thinking about Teen Wolf is a good idea. Not one of my favorite movies, but certainly not the worst thing that I've watched out of the 2 times I've been on Rough Cuts. I don't know if that's a shot at Rough Cuts or not. Learning blending modes is hard. Yeah, you get used to it. When I was starting, I used basically 2 blending modes for everything. I used multiply to darken, I used screen to light, and that was it. Like And I'm going to talk about process and stuff, especially when I was starting out on that podcast. Um, but we don't have to really worry about blending modes. Well, I guess we kind of do for this. Because we're not worried about like colors interacting with each other. We're just worried about like making a cool weird thing. Oh, we watch garbage. Yeah. um, we're gonna be doing some more coloring uh, soon. Later this week, we're gonna finish off that. We started like so before I took like an extended hiatus. We started a Nissa from Pokemon piece, and that was like a million years ago, and nobody remembers it. But we kind of flatted it, and then like talked about what we think it should look like. The podcast is gonna be live. I think it's live. They have me all setting up with stuff, and they're drawing like while it's happening. It's like three other guys and me, and I put together a small demo for it. But I haven't been live in a million years. So let's make this light that's cascading in look like light that's cascading in. They scheduled it on their YouTube. Oh yeah, sweet. Thanks, boys. So we're gonna go over the line art and really just start cheating. Just full on cheating our way through this. Here's the thing. Am I gonna cheat at this? Goddamn right. We're gonna cheat our way through this whole project. And it's not technically cheating, but we're playing to our strengths for sure. We're going to be tweaking the line art. So one of the things that I don't get to really do a lot as a colorist is like really get in here and mess with the line art, but we will be doing that occasionally. I don't know if we're going to be doing that a lot on this page, but we are going to be doing that occasionally. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I like that. That's real good. All right, so this is starting to look like how I want it. So because we're only using black and white, we don't have to worry about blending modes at all. Like, we can just work on the same layer. You know what? I'm just going to fade this way back. Like he's like way back in the light. Because we're either lightening or we're darkening pretty much for everything. This hand is a mess. By the way, this does not look great, but we're gonna just try to gesture it in and hope nobody notices. That's what we're gonna do. Look at those sunbeams. I guess it's night, but it's a dark office, so we're getting away with this, even though we shouldn't be able to get away with this. All right, this is looking better. We're going to do this, kind of the same thing over here, where we're just kind of lightening everything that's on the desk. We're trying to create a creepy, weird atmosphere. So one of the reasons that I'm working like this, where we're like kind of really like fast and loose with the art, is because this is kind of the goal for me. Um, on that panel, that dude's nose is creating a tangent with the pen. I know. Tell me, trust me. I know all the mistakes. You don't have. I went to a lot of art school. Like this is yeah. I know. Tell me about it. We could just push it back. I guess we should just be like. We could just be like, you know what? No, there's no tangent. There's no tangent. There's no nose. There's no nothing. We're done with it. uh, yeah, I trust me. I see all the bullshit. Like, there's a difference between like, um, knowing the path and going the path. You say mistake, I say happy accident. Yeah, there's like, we're gonna put just like a little dancing of light around here, around the other side of his face. Yeah, there's a difference between like going the path and knowing the path, and there's a certain point where it's like, you know, there's mistakes on all of these pages, but like I need to get through these pages so that I can learn from them and then do the next pages where I get a little better, and then I can do the pages after that where I can get a little better. It's you know, it's a weird thing with art. It's like, are you spending forever fixing the problems on, like, I could just redo these pages again and do them better. Like I could just do that, but like, where does that get me? You know, like at a certain point we have to be like, dude, we're just getting it out there. I really like splatter in work, but I'm a little bit afraid to splatter that I can't take back. So we're just gonna add some in. This office is looking very creepy. Yeah, I didn't mean to call out your comment. Like, I just wanted to, wanted you to understand. I see the mistakes. Like, we could talk all day about this hand, like, but at a certain point we got to move the fuck on. Like, the work's got to come out so that I can like work on something else. And this was just like the goal. Like I said before, the goal of this was just like, let's figure out process. Let's figure out what we're capable of. Let's figure out heck hands. yeah, heck 'em. I actually, I don't know if the, is this patch page? No, this was one I drew a long time ago. I like that hand. That hand came out pretty good. These hands came out pretty good. So with these hands, these ones, I full on photo reft. I don't even feel ashamed about it. Like, hands are stupid, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, man. I was really struggling. So I took about a year break, and I am live online, like AOL. I took about I don't know if we can even call it a break. I took a year off, and we're going to combine these. Layer. Where's the thing? Merge layers. There we go. I couldn't lift the thing to do the Control E. Just cut and paste hands off the internet. Done. Easy. So I full on was like struggling. Like, hadn't really been drawing consistently in a while, and I was struggling with this patch panel that I wanted to do, and I I was like, man, why this hand is so hard? Like it was a face that was like leaned back like this, screaming with like a rotted hand, you know. And uh, after a while, I was just like, I'm just gonna take a picture and we're gonna just trace that, and it was like fucking way easier. I One of the things, like, I don't immediately think to do that stuff because when I was doing pages regularly, it was 2003, 4, you know, like we did photo reference, but the way we did photo reference at that time was like we would shoot it with our disposable camera and then we would take it to a place to be developed. It was a goddamn nightmare. It was not how you want to live. So I'm glad that life is not like that anymore. And or Greg Land, don't lump me in with him. Come on. Come on. It's not okay. What I did wasn't tracing. What I did was I put the hand on one screen, looked at it, drew it. Like if you yeah, yeah, Diatra back in the day. If you start doing that kind of stuff where you're like, I'm just gonna trace, like tracing has like a look to it that isn't great. And you know what? It could be argued that these hands kind of have that look that's like a little static. Uh, and I don't want that. Like one of the things that I struggle with art is trying to get things to look dynamic. And so obviously, like I want to try to not use PhotoRef if I can help it, because that will hinder you. And it's a skill to learn like anything else, like how to use PhotoRef with anything. I think this first panel is done. It looks pretty good to me. I'm looking at it on the other screen. I mean, except for this hand, that's a fucking waking nightmare. Wow. Wow, AutoMod held that message, Hoke Hoquin. I'll let you guys see it. Thanks, Diatra. I'll let you guys see that. Hoke Hoquin said that. I permitted it. Tracing loses life of the pose. Yeah. No, I know. Twitch chat was like, Hoke Hoquin, you crossed a line, saying that I'm basically the same as Greg Land. That was automated. You already lost 35 minutes. Oh God, sorry, man. We only did this stuff, and you can catch the VOD. All right, man. It's 7:58 already. Ugh. At like 8:30, so like another half an hour, I do have to call this so I can like prep for get everything working right for the stream, for the interview, which you should all join me at. Greg Land is a no word? Yeah. Oh man, we should set that up. You can't say Greg Land in the chat. Boix had a few of those words up on his chat. I think one was football. You can't say football. So also, one of the things that I want to full on acknowledge is that my drawings are chunky as hell. Like there's a significant, like, I want to say like unrefined bullshit to mine. They're just like, they feel like I can't do tight stuff yet, and it frustrates the hell out of me. But it's where we're at, and the alternative is that I don't make anything at all, which is not where we want to live. So we're gonna instead we're just gonna make shit, and like whatever happens. Man, somebody posted this the other day on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere, not the other day, like a long time ago, and they were like, the thing about art is you fuck around and find out, and I kind of love that phrase because it's truly what we are going to be doing. Like, this is full on experimentation. We're truly fuck around and find out. We've mixed both these layers. I'm just going to merge them because why do we even need that layer? How do we even merge them? There we go. I'm so used to your lines are rustic. Yes. Going back to the tracing, you need to translate your reference to your style. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it makes it more dynamic, making rough. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is that I used to get like really worried about this stuff because when I was in college, like if you wanted to work in comics, it was like DC, Marvel, or like I guess you could make a web comic and in 10 years you'll make some money. But the thing about that is that I am not ready for either of those things. And I needed to make money because of student loans. I went to a very expensive school. So when I got out, I was like, well, this isn't marketable. I can't use this. I can't do this for people, for human beings. Human beings do not want this. But now I feel like, the world of comics has kind of opened up to a lot of like indie stuff. And as long as it has like a coherent like vibe, then that's all you really need. And like, as long as the hand of the artist is like coming through, that's it. That's the whole game, So I stopped worrying about that stuff and we're just going to make things. Like I look at one of the things that like really inspired me to look at and make my own stuff. It is Major Bang Geek. What's up? Consistency. Yeah. There's a few more choices when you were done at that one school. So I guess you got a few more choices for sure. Like I remember, I don't know if you guys watched I feel weird like promoting stuff for my channel from like a year and a half ago because like this is the first stream of a consistent streaming schedule in a long time. But like we did an interview with Chad Thomas, and I don't know if you know him or not, but he did some he graduated and he has a very like cartoony style, and that cartoony style, like nobody knew what to do with it. Like he drew well, but like his professors were like, I don't know, go talk to Top Shelf. Like there was no like good place for him, and that like kind of screwed him up because he was like, for the longest time at that school they were like, oh, you got DC Marvel, like, and then they were like, I don't know, Top Shelf, and he was like, well, I need to make money, like I need to work for a living. Yeah, it's a man, comics, hell of a game. We were talking about this, by the way. If you've been like a regular viewer and you're like, oh sweet, I'm glad you're back. We've been chatting pretty regularly in Twitch, not in Twitch, in Discord. I've been trying to keep that up. So like, even though I didn't have time for this specifically, if anybody had any questions, I was able to be like hit up in Discord. And I did answer a lot of questions over the last like year or so. I actually just recently gave like a quick portfolio, like looked at somebody's portfolio who was very, very good actually, and gave my opinion on it. So you should join the Discord if you're looking for more content. Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Look, Greg. One of the things that I've been going through now. Let me tell you all about getting older. One of my eyes has stopped working as well as the other, so some text is like hard for me to read. Fucking great. And let me tell you, when you can't see what's going on, you're making some great work. All right, let's figure this stuff out. I kind of want to frame this guy. Okay, so we're gonna try to alter the line art here. One of the things I wanted to experiment with in this panel was like I wanted this guy to be the focus, and because he was the focus, I wanted him tightly inked and this guy like super loose. Yeah, you're streaming earlier today, and you were promoting my Discord. Oh, nice, thank you. I appreciate that, DJ. Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of times that you can like I try to make as much time as I can for anybody who is serious about doing this for a living, because this shit is hard, and sometimes you just need somebody to be like, am I doing this wrong? Like, is this wrong? Because a lot of you, like, the nature of comics, I feel like, or any kind of like artistic medium, is sometimes you just like throw stuff at the wall and you hear crickets back, and you're like, am I doomed? Am I doomed? And you just need somebody to be like, you did everything right. You're fine. You're fine. We're going to use a chunkier boy for this. This is a brush that I use a lot on Devil's Highway. It's got kind of like a texture to it. We're using a lot of like texture stuff for this, in case you didn't realize. The thing you're looking at has a lot of texture on it. I don't know if you knew it or not. Your eyes do not deceive you like mine do. But okay. Oh, one of the things that I need to change with the line art is so he's supposed to be holding a knife here, and that's kind of important. So we have to like I did this like shine, and then I realized I like created a tangent with the knife, and I was like, I gotta fucking like redo this. I don't like any of that. I kind of really like the idea of like making his glasses shine like the light, but we're just like obscuring his face, and that's probably not where we want to be. Everybody's with the Bob Ross in the chat. You need someone to help you with layer setups for illustrations. God, I don't know about any of that stuff. Almost reminds you of Kevin in Sin City. Yeah, so like this whole thing was supposed to be it's supposed to be like one of the brothers is like kind of a Poindexter, and one of them is like kind of a tough guy. Loosely based on what was that movie where they're digging on the island? Curse of something island. What was that show? It's like a reality show, but it's terrible. But it's captivating. Like all reality shows. Curse of Skull Island, something like that. Oak Island. Yes, yes, you're right. We used to talk about it all the time, and now nobody talks about it. They never find anything, and they're always like digging for like uncharted treasure, and the narrator's just like, could this be? And it never is. But yeah, this was the brothers were like loosely based on those brothers, because like one of them was like a smart oil tycoon with real responsibilities, and the other one was like, I worked a job and now I'm retired, and that's it. It's a reality show, but terrible. Yeah, Jason with the deep cuts. Yeah, we talked about it a lot for some reason for like a little while when I was making this like a year ago, but we haven't talked about it since. So it took me for a while. I had to reach back. All right, so we want to make sure that you see this knife, and currently you do not. Let's go on knife layer. You haven't watched in a while, but pretty sure they found solid gold pirate ship. Yeah, you just gotta wait 10 seasons. They eventually find that solid gold pirate ship. I think this was the end of the knife. Man, by the way, I am terrible at drawing weapons. We wrote a thing, Murder She Ship posted, and I was recently reviewing that, and I don't know if that can be a one-page comic. And I also realized I keep writing comics with like stuff that I'm bad at drawing. Like, I am not great at guns, and that dang thing is like filled with them. And then I kind of realized maybe I don't like guns on like a moral standpoint as well. I was like, maybe we shouldn't draw people just shooting at each other like all the time. I don't know. So we may alter it to be like cyberpunk swords instead. Murder She Ship posted. Yeah, it's in high demand. I mentioned it to a writer at New York Comic Con, which is the last Comic Con that anybody ever went to. And he was like, whoa, you thought of that? Murder She Ship posted? And I was like, yeah. He was like, that's a good idea. You should do that idea. Swords all the way. Yeah. It's going to be like future-y swords, not like broadswords and halberds. It's going to be like stuff that like pops out of your knuckles and I don't know, because you're cyber arms. The future. Stuff that pops out of your knuckles because cyber arms. All right, now you can see the knife. You can now see the knife. Oh, one of the things I wanted to say was, so I don't know if I said this or not, but one of the things that I wanted to really experiment with was like the idea of like, this guy is lovingly rendered and this guy is not, and it's because he is moving away from you and you're like really not supposed to be looking at him. I really wish that more comic artists, like, I don't know if this is an idea that works or not, and like I'm just a fucking crazy person, but I kind of like the idea of like comics as a medium being like, you're not supposed to see this guy, or this is out of focus, so we're just gesturing it in. Like, I don't know if that's an idea that can like work well, but I think it's an idea that can only work in comics. I don't think you can make Bill Murray less Bill Murray in a movie. Or like gesture somebody in with words in a novel. Add a little something in here. Just make it interesting. And the whole goal for all of this, by the way, like, I'm clearly Bill Murray with a mustache. You got me. That is less Bill Murray. Every time he's like slightly off scene, he has a mustache. CGI. Every time So clearly I'm not the strongest like penciler, and but like I have ideas and like I want to execute on some stuff, but like I think that at the end of the day it just needs to be interesting. It just needs to be visually interesting and like kind of fun. Like I read Kyle Starks's Old Head, which I don't know if it's around here. I don't know where anything is anymore because we just moved into a new house, so it could be around here. I don't know. But he was like a big inspiration for me to quit like talking about making comics and actually start making comics, because he was like, he's making these books that are like, and the books that he draws is what I'm talking about, and like he'll say he's like not the best artist, but like all his draw everything is like competent, uh everything is like, it's interesting. So like, do we make comics that are perfect? Are we trying to make Watchmen? Or alternatively, are we just trying to make a piece of art that serves the story and is engaging? Like, um, 8 years studying the perfect way to memorize every muscle, or if you don't have anything to say. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, you can, a lot of, I feel like a lot of, I mean, maybe this is stepping out of line, but here comes the hot take. I feel like a lot of, we are all over the art. That is not what I wanted. Um, I feel like a lot of mainstream artists are like that, where they're like, hey, like, just tell me how to draw, or tell me how many guys Superman is going to be ripping apart on this page, and then like let's all move on with our lives and I'll draw it perfectly. And that's fine. That's another job. But like what I want to do is not that. And that was like the key thing that was hard for me to figure out when I was in college, was that like I was fucking around like drawing these goofy ass comics, and they were like, at school they were like craft, they were like muscle mass, like, squatch and stretch, like in animation, and like, there's, craft is important, but like if it's gonna cripple you, it's not that important, you know like and Kyle told me, he was like at the end of the day, he's like, you just gotta make the comic. Like, the comic's gotta get made. Like, I don't know. When the pandemic first started happening, by the way, guys, wear your masks. When the pandemic first started happening, he was like, I'm gonna make a comic for Free Comic Book Day, and then he just like got on a roll. He made like a book called Karate Prom, I think, and it's like, yo, does Karate Prom have to be like perfectly drawn? Probably not. Does it have to be fun and interesting? Probably. You know, I don't know. I'm kind of talking in circles. Like, ideally you want everything perfectly drawn, fun, interesting. It all comes together in a beautiful, tight, cohesive package. And we're going to try to make the best art we can, but it should never cripple you from being like making things, is my point. When I got out of school, I think I've said this before on stream. When I got out of school, I felt like, well, if we're not going to make Dark Knight Returns, then what's even the point? Uh, uh, Karate Prom should have had all Alex Ross art. Yeah, I think you lose something, right? It's like the art needs to be something. That's why you burned out on drawing. Yeah, dude, art school will fuck you up. Let me tell you. It took me 10 years before I was even like, maybe I should start drawing again. I didn't realize that, like, oh, you can actually do this for fun. That's That's a thing that other human beings do. Brazilian comic artist said that the drawing needs to work based on the idea. He created a public comic book library. Oh, that's awesome. That's really great. And that's a great quote. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. You got to like, not only is it like particularly discouraging when you're like, when you get burnt out after school, but it also kind of sucks because it's like you're at the height of like your however much you've practiced doing art, and if you don't keep going at that point, you're like losing it. You know, it's like you got to work out every day, you got to draw every day. I'm using that. You guys know about working out, right? Because all artists are just totally shredded, just absolutely jacked. Everybody knows about working out that wants to break into comics. That's why that that comparison works. Everybody in the chat totally shredded. Absolutely. Yeah, DJ. I've been trying to watch some snacking and maybe do a little running. Part of the reason I started getting into it and then fell out of it because Florida got so fucking hot in the summer that it was just miserable. It was like, you know, I'd wake up at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. in the morning and it would be 95 degrees already, and I'd be like, fucking, what am I doing? So, but since moving to North Carolina, I've been doing a little bit more exercise, hoping to do a little bit more. We'll see. Pumping iron for sure. So I actually I'm excited I got a uplift standing desk coming to the house. That's going to be the new desk, and I'm excited to set it up because once I do, I can get all my gear out as well. I actually have a DSLR for streaming that I have like everything, all the gear set up for, but I have not really been able to use it because I kind of don't know what my setup is, and I don't want to unpack everything and then have to redo it once I get the new desk. So the stream should get a quick boost after a while. I'm trying to work on some audio problems. I hate having this thing right here. But I haven't really found exactly what I want yet. I got to do some more research. We are almost done with this page. I think it's turned out great, by the way. I'm very happy with it. I know it's not perfect, but like, dude, for someone who hasn't made a comic in like this is the first page I've done since like 2005. Like, come on. We're doing all right. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah, man. This is mine. This is my work. Yeah, I'm trying to like get into drawing on the side. Because there's some stories I want to tell. I want to get into some like pitches and stuff. Basically, like I don't know if I want to like. I'm not saying this to be a jackass, but like, coloring's great and all, but I've been doing it for like 15 years now, and I'm not like not doing coloring, but like I just want to like try other things and other comic books, and like I have ideas, and There's a lot of times when I'm looking at art like on a page where I'm like, oh man, if the artist only did XYZ, like then this page would really sing. And like you can only have that idea so many times, like every other day, before you're like, I should just be drawing. Like I clearly like have the wherewithal to like think about this stuff. I don't know. You've been wanting to scratch the writing, dude. Writing is where it's at. Drawing is a nightmare. Drawing is a waking nightmare. No one draw. All right. like not to really like belabor it, but writers make the money. Like you get good at writing and you can work on 4 or 5 successful things a month like a colorist does, but you get more of a piece of the IP. You get not only that, but you get to like colorists as far as like lateral moves. Colorists can work in like animation and stuff like that. Artists can work in animation and stuff like that. Writers get to be in like writer's room for blockbuster movies, stuff like that. Like I feel like if you, and this is coming from someone who is not a writer, just a colorist. So, I mean, maybe I'm way off, but like these things seem like they are better than like the lateral moves for, artists and colorists. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe every job's a job. Anyway, I hate this panel, but I love this page. So we're going to just like kind of roll with it. It just like is not a great drawing of a guy. It's a little just, I'm trying to dress it up now. It just like, he's a little chunky. He's like kind of stiff. I don't know. It's not a great pose, but we're rolling with it. So part of the reason why I was using Speedball Super Black ink, and part of the reason that I wanted to do that is because like we're getting all these like weird textures and stuff in here that I would not normally get, and I like it. I feel like that stuff leans into the stuff that I'm making very well. So I'm working on it. Could have been the writer on Teen Wolf 3 through 12 by now. Yeah. Had this idea, but if you're a comic penciler, I think you can work on basically any 2D illustration field. Oh yeah, it'd be fine. I think that it depends on the skill of the quality of the pencils you're doing. Like, it also depends on like Jeremy got a gig recently to work on Marvel cards, but the cards have to be in full color. They're for a game. And he was like, I can work with my colorist, Nickfil, and then like we split the thing, but I didn't interact with the editor at all. It was just like me and Jeremy, and we have a working relationship like that, so it's fine. But if you're not coloring your own stuff, there's only so many places you can go. Like Mitch Gerards can probably go anywhere he wants. Like same thing with like James Jean, like started in comics, got out of comics. He's like illustrations for Nike and stuff like that. But like, I think that your average like mainstream artist like Ed McGuinness, I don't know that Ed McGuinness can actually like, go a lot of places other than comics. Like I think he is built for comics, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. He might have been working on a lot of different stuff. Who knows? So I think we're gonna call it for this page right here. For now. Wait, we need to buff this thing out. Hold on. There we go. I think we're gonna call it for this page. I'm pretty happy with it. We're working on stuff. This is kind of where I wanted, when I was drawing it, this is kind of where I wanted to end up. Like I knew that once I started adding gray tones and I was like messing with it, that it would be, the art would be stronger than what was on the page immediately. Like we saved it so we can back up. Like this is visibly weaker than this. And I mean, that's what I do as a colorist. So I think this works. Hey, what's up, Epsilon Mingle? Unfortunately, you caught us after we were bidding the stream adieu. But in a half an hour, I'm going to be live talking process with this thing that is not in my cut and paste. Hold on. We're going to be streaming regularly again. And I hope the stream, I don't think it's dropped any frames. No, we are rock solid. 0 drop frames. I've switched. Part of the reason why I waited until we got into the new apartment was sorry, I'm looking up the podcast so I can drop the link in the channel. Part of the reason why we're in this new apartment is because we got fiber optic internet. So we are rock solid, steady streams, 0 drop frames. There you go. There's the link for the podcast. I'm going to be on there in about a half an hour. You should join me. We're going to talk process. I'm not going to be distracted by this page. I'm going to be fully tuned in. So, check it out. If you're catching this on the VOD, I will be linking the podcast on all my media and stuff. Follow me on everywhere you want to follow me. Hang out, do things. I just realized I kind of want this monitor separate from this background, but whatever. We're going to deal with that another time. Let's just save it. And we'll move on to the podcast. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming again in a couple of days. We're probably going to do some Photoshop stuff, some coloring stuff, because that's normally what we do. But we're going to work on that Nessa. Let me see. I would show it, but I don't want you guys to see all my comic book secrets. And I don't have anything set up right now. I got to get more into the streaming groove. We're going to work on that Nissa. Shannon's running the sink. All right. Catch you next time. Guys, keep making comics. Wear a mask. You know the drill. See you at the podcast.